Sims 3. Now, I wanted to do this episode somewhat quickly. I wanted to get a couple things out of the way for tomorrow. I'm going to be quite a bit busy. Not that I'm really usually not busy. Or busy. You know what I mean. But I'm going to be fairly occupied, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do an episode tomorrow. So I'm going to try and squeeze a little bit in today. Go ahead and make your sexual jokes. That's what she said. Anyways, so first things first, a couple of you guys have been asking me on the condition of the Ferrari headphones that I did a review on a while back, almost about a year ago. I was actually going to do a video on that, so I might not talk too much. I'm not going to talk. Sorry guys, this obviously was April. I'm not going to talk too much about that, as I'm going to save that for the 1 year anniversary. Is the 1 year, like 1 year later? You know, we do the review of it or something, a video to catch up 1 year later of having the headphones. I got to look at the papers that I did when I registered the headphones to Logic 3 to see the exact date. I have it on the papers there. So I'll do a little bit of catching up on myself, if that makes sense. But before I really get into detail, I just really quickly wanted to get something off my chest that is absolutely bugging me from earlier this morning. I went into class. Now, I just want you guys to let me know if the way I acted upon this situation was sane, insane, or just outright stupid, or if it was logical or understandable. Now, what ended up happening is my school every year around this time has a food drive. As it's getting somewhat closer to winter, which is relatively getting closer to Christmas. I'm Catholic. I do celebrate Christmas. I know it's a general holiday, it's a public holiday, but it's also a religious holiday. I'm not very super religious to death, but I am faithful to God. So nonetheless, it doesn't matter in the long run. My point is behind the issue. So this morning I went into class, and I am in high school, so I don't know if it's different between your teachers and college in terms of what they can and cannot say to a student. I do know for one, they are allowed to swear. No, not every teacher swears in terms of vulgarity at its max, but you know, it's gonna get there. This is a big plus not having to sing. Oh god. So anyways, long story short, I just don't want to. She's completely fucking neglecting the daughter. I'm gonna take my shoes off. Sorry guys, I have 2 insoles in my shoe because I went for a run earlier this morning. Well, even this morning, but I need to put the insoles on. I have a pair of Super Musca 001s, which are probably the nicest nubuck shoes that I have. And I only have my Jordans, but they're not. I think personally, in terms of comfort, are not even nearly as nice. But that's my opinion. But whatever. So this morning I went into class, and in high school, in my particular school, in the region that my school is at, you are not allowed to be biased. You are no. No. Oh, well. Am I starting? I'm starting from that, right? Fuck. Yeah, but that's a snitch. I don't want to be known as a snitch. Plus, I'm making more than that by 4 bucks, but I can get another promotion. But mind you, that isn't actually that bad of a deal. I really... Sorry guys, I've... But, so, as I was saying, my teacher, long story short, we have the food drive. I don't know if it's because it's right after Thanksgiving or if it's before Christmas or whatever. Regardless, it could maybe have nothing to do with holidays. Yeah. And it's just during this time of day, of the year, sorry, because it's getting closer to winter. Maybe it's a seasonal thing, you know what I mean? Because during the winter, it's a lot harder to do stuff if you are less fortunate. So I know this for a fact, as the stuff that I've gone through. I've had friends that have gone through way worse. Like I had a friend, I hope he doesn't mind. I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons, but he has gone to shelters on multiple occasions and has ended up having to go to school. It is 6. Oh, I thought it was PM. Mind, you know what? Fuck that. I'll take my card. My gangster ass car. So my teacher ended up giving us a spiel because not all the kids in my class donate. Now I don't know in terms of if this can go for all the kids, but I know there are probably not. That's not every kid can maybe afford to truly just donate food. You know what I mean? Like, I personally, for one, I'm not going to get too personal about my situation, but it's not necessarily that easy. I would just stop it there because, again, it is a personal issue. I'm not getting... I know maybe there's a little too much that I said. I'm not really supposed to talk about that type of stuff out to you guys, but I'm just being upfront with you guys because it's kind of adding to the situation so you guys can get an understanding as to why I reacted the way I did. Financially, I can't actually donate, so hopefully you guys understand, and it's not just me being frugal or selfish. As my teacher said, not word for word, because I don't remember exactly what he said. Honestly, I would have recorded if I could have. But, anyways, so he said something along the lines of, if you are going to be selfish enough to not donate food, that makes you lesser human. So, this threw me on tilt, and I'm not a very outspoken... I'm outspoken, but to a point. Like, I'm not gonna just, hello, white sir, we got practically a stranger sleeping in our bed, or, well, relaxing, chilling. He's gonna Netflix and chill with himself. He is, he fucking is. So another thing that I noticed, I'm going to just kind of give it a side note. This is not the first time I've gotten into an issue with a teacher over being offended personally. Now, the first time, I probably won't do a video on this because it just got a little way too out of hand, to the point where it just got like, it's more of a personal story that I'd rather not feel, I don't feel comfortable talking about over the internet. I might say it in different stands, but I don't know, it's just not something I feel comfortable at the moment talking about. So this teacher that I'm talking about today said that, and it threw me on tilt, so I stood up and I went up to the teacher, but I'm not whispering. I'm not going to lower my voice because I want the class to hear. I want to say it, not to seem like I'm trying to be a tough ass or like I'm trying to say anything to make myself sound superior, but I'm not going to let the teacher misjudge somebody based off of their actions that they do, or in this case don't do, if that makes sense. So the teacher was basically saying, really, I just said it, you are selfish and lesser human if you do not contribute to donating food or whatever the case may be. Now, the reason why I got offended was not only, I didn't tell the teacher, oh well, sir, I can't afford it. I said, you don't understand, you don't know, for one, if I've donated already, you don't know what I've done to contribute to my city, to my society, to whatever. You don't know if I'm working for a charity, if I'm working for this room. I'm not very open like that, so that I can kind of understand if maybe you didn't realize it. Other people I know are much more open about what they do in their society. That's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I just, for one, I'm just not very open about certain things that I do. Like, yeah, I'm not going to say how many times I masturbate a week. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously not something your art teacher needs to know, but just for the sake of throwing an example out there, of something that I know I wouldn't actually want to say. It doesn't matter what class it is. If it's in school, for fuck's sake, why would you tell a teacher? But in all seriousness, though, guys, I just get really offended because stuff like that happens, and they don't really and this is the reason why I think teachers kind of get away with it in that area. Because in the school that I go to, it's a pretty highly, it's a more richer area. It's not necessarily the like it's not the rich area. It's not like a gated community. Like, you ain't seen your neighbor for fucking miles. But it's a nice area. It's expensive. I used to live there, so I can tell you it's a gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, Toronto is beautiful. You go downtown Toronto, guys, there's so much to see. It's gorgeous. Even in upper Toronto, and the more rural, the more city, like downtown Toronto's city, but then you also have like city, like you have urban, rural, and like city, and then you have downtown, which is just like another world of Toronto. It's just totally different. If you guys have never been downtown Toronto, come to the Six, guys. You guys gotta go there. It's so nice. Anyways, why the fuck would I eat the leftovers if the fridge stinks? I don't know. Anyways, so my teacher ended up saying this, and when I told him this, he said, well, I'm sorry that I offended you, but in a way I felt like just jumping down his throat, because in my head, guys, an apology for something like that, it's like killing somebody. You can't apologize after the fact. It's obviously not on the same standards, but hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from when I say it's like killing somebody. You're doing the damage and then apologizing later. Apologies aren't going to do very much for most things, especially in the circumstances that this was in, which is that you've now offended somebody. And what makes it more of an issue is that it's from a teacher, or in other words, a superior. Sometimes I don't really want to say a teacher's a superior or not a superior, because then they're going to start talking about police. I personally don't feel that police are superior. Yes, do they deserve certain things more than just a regular civilian? Obviously, yeah. Like, they walk around for a reason, to serve and protect their community. We have soldiers that do that for the country, for the world. You know what I mean? God bless those people. I don't hate police. It's just, like a friend of mine said, why do you have beef with cops? I don't have a beef with cops. I have a beef with the police officer that isn't a cop. There are people that I have a beef with that have the badge, go in a cruiser, claim to be a police officer, but I know they don't do their job properly. Like, I don't know them personally, you know what I mean? But I know there's people out there that are like that, and it's absolutely disgusting to see that they are still walking, they're still living, because you can't abuse the privilege of having the job. There's so many people that get away with murder, literally, figuratively, in terms of they get away with everything because they're cops. But we're not here to talk about police. I'm not here to give my judgment on anything in terms of law enforcement whatsoever, as I have friends who have family members that are in law enforcement. One of them's dad is actually in the military, so he's fighting, I believe it's, I don't know what, I don't know what they're called, like where in the world he's fighting, but he's in the army. So I know, like, when it comes to the Canadian armed forces, the American armed forces, I'm Italian, so I can also consider the European armed forces if they have that type of stuff. I don't know if it's continent-wide or what. But when it comes to stuff, like, it has nothing to do with food drives, obviously, but when it comes to things like that, it's basically the same thing. Like, I'm doing what I need to do to support my community, whether that community is local or international. I consider it still a community, because at the same time that I want to help out, I have to be able to, you know, support myself, if I have a family, my family. It's obviously not to be selfish or frugal, but I think we can all agree that our family has to come first for the most part. Yeah, there are certain things that, you know, you're not gonna just say, well, fuck you, my family comes first, but like, for stupid things. I'm not saying like there's certain things like, well, I gotta feed my family. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna help you first. I personally, I'm a little bit. I want to say selfish in the sense that I would think more about my family before somebody else. But sorry. But it's not in a bad. I hope you guys don't get it, like, take it the wrong way when I say this. I'm not saying it to seem like an asshole. A lot of people maybe misinterpret it from the first opinion. The first impression. But when I come across as being bitchy or something like that, I'm like that because of the way I've been treated. I'm not using it as a crutch. I don't say, well, because they treated me like shit, I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm not like that. I'm not, you know, to get back at somebody. That's not my intent. My intent is to help somebody. Actually, today, I was talking to a counselor who works for the guidance at Seneca College. Now, if you guys are in New York region, or you guys are in Ontario, you guys should know what your Seneca College is. Obviously, it's a college. And I wanted to go and apply originally to Humber. But Humber isn't supported under this one program that is called double credit, or dual credit. I remember exactly what it's called. So I was talking to this guidance counselor he works at high schools, but he also works in association with Seneca as a representative. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, though, to be honest with you, but obviously it does because he's doing it. This person right there, this guy in the middle of the road, just fucking hit his pickup. That's really logical. But as I was saying, it's so difficult. Certain things, guys, you just don't know what to do. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in that situation multiple times where I get stuck between a rock and a hard spot because I don't know what to do in certain situations. Now, thankfully, with this college opportunity, I get 2 credits. I get 1 college credit, and this is all free. Plus, if I do Seneca, I know there's a thing on 1 other college or 2 other colleges, but they're way farther. There's one fucking in Barrie, Hamilton. I know there's one in Mississauga. That's way too far. Like, there's one Seneca that I wanted to try out for Honda that I wanted to try out for 1 bus. The Seneca one, though, is as well 1 bus. You go, so it's pretty legit. But anyways, I'm just worried about transportation, but it's covered. Like, you buy the tickets or whatever the pass, and they pay you back for it. You always have to show proof of, like, well, you have to give the address, because if you go and get a GTA pass, meanwhile you live in Vaughan, you know what I mean? It's like, and they only do by the week pass, so it's some money coaster. But my point behind everything is, people misinterpret my concept and theory, my concept and logic. I don't do things for no reason. I may not think about it wisely, but I don't do it for no reason. I don't think anybody does something just to do something for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just say, well, yeah, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do something for no reason. I might do it for a reason that now I think is really logical. It's the most brainiac idea I have. And then when I finally finish doing it, I'm like, why did I do that? I regret it later on, but in the meanwhile, I thought it was the greatest idea that I had. So that's the reason why I did it. Now, my logic, I'm not the most knowledged person. I'm not the most intelligent person in the world. I'm not the most spiritual, religious, amazing, fantastic person in the world, but I can make myself a little bit better to maybe get a step closer to being that person. Or I can help somebody else to be that person. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do, and that's why I brought up this college opportunity. It's to help. I chose Introduction to Psychology because I want to work with kids. I want to work even with youth. Like, I want to work with somebody to help them stay out of the path that I went through when I was young, because I didn't have a male role model, so I didn't have somebody to steer me out of the wrongs other than my mom. But my mom, again, being a single mom, worked her ass off, so she didn't always, I don't want to say that she didn't look. She sheltered me like crazy. But my point behind it is, if you don't understand certain like the logic behind an action, you can't understand an action behind the logic. If that makes sense. So if I do something for that reason, there's a reason why I do something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, like I said earlier, you're not gonna do something for no reason. So my main priority in this point in my lifetime would be to do good for myself as well as for my mom. My mom is by far the most important person in my life till the day I die, if she's still alive, you know. May that be the case, that I die before her, because I personally don't know what it would be like not having her. Now, I don't want to, you know, if she ever watches this, make her feel like she's obligated, like she has to be alive, because I don't know what I'll do. But I don't think anybody wants their mom or their parents, excuse me, to pass, mainly because it's a heartbreaking situation. I know when my grandmother passed away several years back, it's my grandmother, but it's like a second mother, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you're generally European. I'm not saying that people that are like Canadian, American, and whatnot, that are not European, sorry, aren't the same, but it's just a different feeling. I don't know what it is. Like, I notice a lot of my Canadian and American friends, which I only have one American friend, but eventually I'm sure, at least that I'm aware of, that they're American. I have a buddy of mine who was born in, I think, Bermuda? No. Was it Bermuda? I don't remember if it was Bermuda. Somewhere in Jamaica. He showed me pictures on his phone. It is absolutely, guys, it is so beautiful there. Like, it's like gorgeous. Then he is telling me about the corruption, and you know, even a friend of my mom's is telling me, because he was born in Jamaica as well, that it's so much different. Like, poverty there and poverty here is totally different. Is this chick giving us fucking raw hot dogs? Oh. I was gonna say, why the fuck am I eating raw hot dogs? But as I was saying, going way back and just rewinding the tape, when my teacher said that, I winded, because when a teacher, somebody that's supposed to be a mentor, or at least somebody you look up to, somebody that's supposed to teach, does something in the wrong and maybe doesn't realize it, they have to be told or put in their place. And I've put a teacher in their place once, which again, this is the topic I'm not bringing up because it's a little too personal, for which I just don't feel comfortable talking about. But I'm willing to express my emotion openly, because I find that this is the reason why I want to be a social worker. Not many kids know how to do it properly. Some kids feel they should just be really open or really to themselves. And unfortunately, that's really what bites me in the ass now, because I have a very big issue with trust. And that's one thing that I've noticed within the last while, like 2-3 years. Especially within the first year of high school. So about 4 years now. This is going to be my half of the 4th year, second half. So it's been 4.5. Come this end of this semester, it'll be 4.5 years. But that was a pretty fucking quick meal. Holy. What just happened? Oh, the tea. Fudge.
Oh no.
I'm absolutely, excuse me, zonked. I'm so freaking tired right now.
Let's move.
I haven't watched anything. Oh, Jesus. Anyways, no baby. Oh, maybe, oh, I do have nothing. It was in my pocket, I forgot. It is 10:56. Thankfully, I woke up at 5:30 this morning thinking it was 6:30. Because I forgot that when I reset my phone, it changes the time from when it was first bought, which is fucking ridiculous. My mom's phone does that every time the phone shuts off and turns back on. It resets the time, date, and it goes to 24-hour time frame. Only us. And then you guys are probably facing it. But my point... I gotta yell again, my apologies. My point behind this, though, guys, is I want you guys to understand I have a love and passion for openly expressing my feelings for certain issues. This is the one thing that comes with having the experiences that I've had that a lot of people had. If you look at people like mentors, like you can look at people like Martin Luther King Jr. Now, if you guys don't know who Martin Luther King Jr. are, please pause the video, look them up, and educate yourself, because they are the two most important people in like racial history. Martin Luther King was one of the first black people to openly express his opinion. That was like the sum up of everything. Like, I don't know the exact full story, but I've read enough books to know that so many different people expressed their opinion in times that were tough. But then I'm also going to bring up something about my apologies, guys. Hitler, as I'm reading a book called Hitler's Willing Execution. That's, I think that's it. Hitler's Willing... She masters in the fucking mechanics trade, and then she calls a fucking repairman. That really makes fucking sense. Twist a whopping $50 out of the $214,093 that I have. But I want you guys to just let me know, did I deal with that situation properly? Because I'm not going to lie, there are certain times when I really do not understand if the way I did it. I can't judge myself sometimes. Like, it's a part of having ADD. I just really, truly don't understand certain things if I do them wrong. Certain things that like some people will be like really easy to judge and like, oh well, I did that wrong. And it's not that I don't know right from wrong, but certain times I'll just blow. But then I'll feel because of the way that what I'm trying to express, it's fine that I took it to that extent. But obviously, it's not always like that. But also, if you guys want to ever just, let me know about any issues that you've had, so we can talk. I want people to express openly, you know what I mean? That's the one thing that a lot of people have an issue with because they feel they'll be judged. That's the one thing that I want to help kids with because that's the one thing that I still deal with. One of the parts of the introduction to sociology and psychology is actually dealing with your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your lack in self-confidence, if that is an issue. Should somebody feel paranoid because of what they think other people think of them? And it's something that I've always dealt with. Like, a lot of people don't understand. It is so hard for some people to get out there and to get from. I had a friend of mine, guys, and I don't ever put people down. I was stupid and said he was an idiot because he couldn't make new friends. And I still talk to this kid today. And I've mentioned things that I've done to the friends that I still talk to in the past. My best friend, I still talk to him. And I ended up causing him to go through a depression, guys. You know how much it hurts to know that you made your best friend go through a depression? Like, it's so sad, and it makes me sick to think that I was that person. Like, I don't know exactly what goes through their head. Everybody deals with everything differently. So one thing that may not bother one, bothers another. And especially in class and in school, nobody really cares. They just throw the words and they don't actually know what they're truly going to get at. Or what the person's going to interpret that as. They say, well, you're stupid, well, it must be true. But I just want you guys to let me know exactly how I dealt with the situation. Getting mad at the teacher and screaming, for me, is not the first option. That is probably the last resort, if even included is an option. I was originally just going to walk out, but then I was like, if I walk out, it brings on too much attention. I'm not really big on being an attention seeker. I am actually the complete opposite. I cannot stand bringing on attention to myself, as I find it is actually embarrassing to do so. Is this chick fucking doing workouts? Like, fucking go to bed, bitch.
Up with dog. Sabadoo.
Oh my god, my eyes are fucking killing me. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today. I apologize about the fairly short video for tonight. But anyways, guys, if I can get some more of The Sims 3 for tomorrow evening, I will try my best. As I'm actually starting to do good. I got quite a bit of an audience now starting to grow, which I'm very thankful for. So especially if you guys are tuning in from my main channel, which I'll have in the link in the description in case you are new to this channel and do not even know about my main channel, you will absolutely love it. Anyways, guys, until next time, rate, subscribe, and comment. And please, just really quickly before I go, leave your comments down below. And I'm expressing this really, really majorly. I really want you guys to let me know. Did I deal with it properly? How would you have dealt with it? You know what I mean? I want you guys to let me know, how would you have dealt with it? Do you feel that it's necessary that the teacher really brought it upon me? Sorry, the teacher didn't single me out, just in case you guys are going to ask, because when I said this to my mom, she kind of thought, like, the way I said it, that the teacher singled me out. He didn't single me out. He didn't single out any individual. Other than the one girl that's been donating, like, half a fucking grocery store. And also for people who are going to ask, as my mom did, how does the teacher know if you donated or not? Well, the bin is right next to the teacher's desk in order. Like, it's been in the case where I'm sure that at least somebody's probably trying to take something, because they're doing it in front of the fucking teacher's desk for a reason. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Rate, subscribe, and comment. Thumbs up, like, and share, guys. God bless everybody watching this. I hope you guys are watching these videos and enjoying them. Now, if you guys haven't watched my latest episode for 65, please watch it, even at least halfway through, at least from the middle to the end, please, because it'll really mean a lot to me. Where I truly actually, if you guys want me to hear me more openly express my opinion on certain topics that are either relevant or not relevant, but maybe they just matter to me, whatever the case may be, I'll express my opinion. Especially if you guys bring a topic upon me to talk about in an episode, which has been done only like a handful of times, if that many, in the past. So if you guys have anything you guys recommend me to talk about, please obviously, make sure you keep it mature and, legal. I don't want to get killed for talking about something. But until next time, guys, rate, subscribe, and comment. Thumbs up, like, and share. Peace.